Okay, students, here is the first problem that we did in class, and I do have a young man and a young lady standing right here with me that are going to help me explain this. Riley, would you like to read the first part of the problem to me?
Okay. Miss Gomez put 5 numbers S in a bag that totaled 3 2/3. Chloe, Brooklyn, Jose, and Thomas picked a number out of a bag. Chloe picked 5/6, Brooklyn picked 11/9. Jose picked 10/9, and Thomas picked 1/6.
Okay, so why did we pull our information out?
So we don't have to go through all the other information to confuse us.
Exactly. Okay. So, Taylor, why do I have 2 numbers highlighted right here?
Because they're improper fractions.
And how do you know they're improper?
Because the numerator is bigger than the denominator.
So, how did we go from here to here? You can just explain, or you can get a pen and show me right there if you want.
Okay, so with 11/9 we had to make it into a mixed number. And so we had to divide it. And 11 divided by 9 is 1. And then we made a fraction with the remainder, which is 2/9.
Okay. Riley, do you want to show me?
Sure.
You got your pencil already.
Okay, so I'm just going to use 11/9 as an example. So you take the denominator and put it on the outside and put the numerator on the inside. And so how many times, 9 goes into 11 once, so it is 9. Then you get a remainder of 2, so you take 1 2/9.
Fabulous. And we just did the same thing with Jose. So our first problem asked us to add, correct? Okay, and then explain to me how we did that and how we got 1 from 6/6.
Well, since they're equal denominators, you keep the denominator the same, and you just add the numerators. And since you get 6/6, that's equal to 1 whole.
Okay, Taylor, do you want to explain number 2?
Okay, so number 2 was how much bigger is Chloe's number than Thomas's number? And so you have to do 5/6 minus 1/6, which is 4/6 because you only subtract the numerator and keep the denominator. And then you can simplify that into 2/3.
Fabulous. Moving on, let's look at 3 and 4. Okay, so what were we doing here?
So you find out what the sum of Brooklyn and Jose's number is.
Right.
And so since on number 3 you are adding, since they're both wholes, you both add those first, which you get 2 wholes, and then since the denominators are the same, you just add the numerators and you take the whole, you get 2, and then you just get 3/9 because you just add the numerators.
So if I wanted to, could I line them up and down like that and it still be right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we simplified it and got 2 1/3, right?
Yes.
Okay, and number 4?
Number 4, you're supposed to subtract Brooklyn and Jose's number. And so you do 1 2/9 minus 1 1/9. And you subtract the whole numbers, which is 1 and 1, so that's 0. So, and then 2/9 minus 1/9 equals 1/9. So it's just 1/9.
Fabulous. Moving on. And there we go. So can you explain to me what all of this is right here? That looks like a lot of mess.
It's touchdown.
It's touchdown. Okay, so what was the whole point of us setting it? Do I have to set it up touchdown?
Mm-mm.
No. Why do I like touchdown?
Because it's organized.
Because it's organized. It looks like a hot mess, but hey, it's organized. So what is all of this work right here in the middle? What are we creating right there?
Equivalent fractions.
Very good. Okay, and right here it's important to remember, if I do it to the bottom,
You do to the top.
I do it to the top. And you see right here, we're only messing, or we're only manipulating or doing math with just the fractions. Why aren't we touching the whole numbers right now?
Because, well,
You remember what I said about pi?
Oh, if you start a pie and then you're gonna eat that pie that you started the next day.
Right. So if you have two pies and you have one pie that's already been eaten, do you really think your mom is going to be happy if you come home and eat the pie that hasn't been eaten yet? No. So we go ahead and move that over and save it for later, and then we're just going to sit here and mess with this. So then we sit here and we did all of the math. We kept the denominators the same. We added the numerator. And then we ended up with 24 as our new numerator. We added the whole number, and we ended up with the, yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. Why didn't we leave it like this? Why did we sit here and do more work?
because the fraction is improper.
Okay, and what is improper again?
When the numerator is bigger than the denominator.
Right. So then, we moved over here and we pulled out this whole number, right? We moved this whole number over, and then we created this mixed number right here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and then we added them together, and then we ended up with this, and then what did we do before we stopped?
We simplified.
We simplified, okay? So we didn't finish number 6 in class, so Riley and Taylor are going to sit here and work together to finish number 6. Okay, so y'all can work in pencil or highlighter, or you can grab one of my colored pens from my bag. It's up to you. Okay, so number 6 was, we had to find out the 5th number, right? Okay, and there's some students who are probably thinking, but we just found out the total. How do we figure out the 5th number? How did we do that?
Well, in the problem, it says the total.
And what was the total?
It was
3 2/3.
Okay, so can you write down 3 2/3 for me? Okay, and I'm supposed to subtract. So what am I supposed to subtract?
the total of the 4 numbers.
Yeah.
This number right here? Okay, so go ahead and write that down.
And 1/3.
Okay, so how am I going to do this?
If I'd do these.
Okay, you're going to do the fractions first.
I'd do the fractions, and then I'd get 1/3.
Okay, and then what about the whole number?
3 minus 3 is
Is
0,
zero,
so
so you
there's
just-
no whole number anymore.
Okay, so my answer for this one is,
1/3.
okay, moving on. Remember, we added number 7, and it says to order from least to greatest. Okay, so we might want to go ahead and just write down all of our numbers again. Okay, so let's write down all of our numbers again. Taylor, if you want to do that. And we can write down our original numbers. So we have 15 18ths. We have 1 and 4 18ths. We have 1 and 2 18ths. We have 3 18ths. And then 1/3. Okay? So which one is my biggest number? Okay?
1/4.
1 and 4/10. So what number does 1 and 4/10 represent in our original problem? or 4/18. What number does that represent in our original problem? It was 11 ninths. So I'm going to my first number that I'm going to write down is 11 ninths. What's my next number?
10 ninths.
Okay, so now it's 10 ninths is next.
And then 15/18.
15/18 is next. Okay, and that was 5/6.
And then 3/18. No, wait. 1/3.
Can 3/18 be reduced? It'd be what? 1/6, right? Because that's what we started at. Think about it. If I had a pie and one was cut into 3 and one was cut into 6, who's going to have the bigger slice? The person that has the 3s or the 6s? The 3s. So then what do you think comes next? 1/3. And then last is 1/6. Okay, so since our problem asks us to go from least to greatest, all we have to do what to these numbers? It's just to go backwards. To me, it was just easier to put them in order from greatest to least for y'all. Okay? And we're all done. So thank you, Riley. Thank you, Taylor. Say bye.
Bye.
Oh, y'all sound so enthusiastic.